Cheers, hey do buckaroos, and how the heck are you? Here's one I haven't had before, just come out from a Boulevard. Their barrel aged pack they come out with. Well, I was gonna say winter, but it is the fall. 13.3% Creme Brule Barleywine ale. Our brewers love sharing small batch, experimental, and wild innovations in the beer hall with our friends and neighbors. The barrel aged mix pack is perfect dinner companion for this holiday season, with three distinctive, unique tastes on traditional desserts. This is creme brulee, aged in bourbon barrels with notes of creamy vanilla, caramel, and burnt sugar. Again, it's a barley wine at 13.3%. They don't list any IBUs. Just give you a question mark. Yeah, there's probably some kind of hops in here, but there's probably not going to be much. Wow. The nose. Wow, the nose is the nose. Again, what do they talk about here? Burnt sugar, creamy vanilla, caramel, and burnt sugar. Yes, yes, and yes. Wow, that's gorgeous, man. I will tell you, though, I mean, typically with, again, it's not unusual with barrel-aged beers, but it pours beautifully, but the head dissipates rather quickly. Oh, shit biscuits. That is gorgeous, man. I am a fan of the barley wine. I really am. And I love barrel-aged barley wines. I'm not a huge fan of specialty beers such as this that add a lot of flavors. However is a barley wine, right? There's not really any rules with a barley wine. So I'm going to cut them some slack and tell you this beer is absolutely gorgeous. In certain styles, you have to have certain malts, certain hops for that style to remain that style. But a barley wine, well, a barley wine is anything above a certain percentage. And not everybody can agree what that percentage ought to be. It's kind of the way things are in a beer world these days. This one's at 13.3%, so definitely qualifies as a barley wine at that percentage. The fact that it adds these other ingredients as something else, you might kind of question it. But as a barley wine, hey man, it is what it is. I certainly taste the burnt sugar, the caramel, the vanilla, everything they mentioned. But I also feel like because of those flavors, I feel like I'm picking up some marshmallow-like notes as well. And maybe that, that's what I'm interpreting as, right? I get that creamy vanilla, the burnt sugar kind of feels like a roasted marshmallow kind of thing going on for me. It's absolutely gorgeous, man. This beer is brilliant. Oh, my Lord. Lord have mercy, that's tasty. That's good, man. I don't care who you are. Oh, man. As we are almost into that season, yeah, they give you two of each of the three flavors. The creme brulee being one. I think the other one's a chocolate cherry. The other one is a spice cake, something like that. I don't have a good aged rum on hand. So before I pop that spice cake, I want to get a good aged rum so I can do a little pairing. I always keep bourbon on hand, so that's not a problem, man. That's not an issue. Although I may not pair this one with a bourbon per se. There's another whiskey that I think would work perfectly with this. As I'm drinking, I'm thinking something different, even though I know it's aged in bourbon barrels. Man, I almost feel like I'm getting a little bit of a sherry-like note in here in the finish. But maybe it's me. Been drinking a lot of cream sherry lately. I'm kind of feeling, yeah, that finish feels a lot like cream sherry to me. Bottom line, ballpark is Tom. Yeah, Bottom line, these 6 packs run about 20 bucks. They're not cheap, but they're not necessarily expensive by craft beer standards either. Especially if you compare what other, you know, what other alcohol costs. For whatever reason, beer has always been lowballed, right? I mean, comparable wine always costs a lot more as whiskey. So for the ounces, yeah, at $20, 13.3%. Yeah, I mean it's the same ABV as most wines, or within that range. It's also a beer you're not going to be afraid to just let it sit. Quite frankly, if I wasn't doing this video, I would be just letting it rest. Just letting it rest, letting it warm, let those aromas build. Because even just the few minutes I've been here with you, I've noticed it become more aromatic as it warms up. So I'm going to say this beer is probably going to be best at about the 55 to 60 range. I'm not going to say room temp, but more of like, let's say, cellar temp, okay? I don't like the moniker, I don't like the phrase room temp, because room temp is rather misleading. Nothing is good at room temp. It's cellar temp. Usually when they say room temp, what they mean is cellar temp, which it could run anywhere between 45 to 60 degrees. And that's really what a beer like this belongs at, somewhere in that range. It doesn't need to be at that 33 to 38 degree refrigerator range. But although I am getting the burnt sugar, the vanilla, the caramel, yeah, I'm feeling a lot of that marshmallow. Now, for me, I feel a lot of like a lightly toasted marshmallow. I know that's not what they're going for, but you got that burnt sugar on the creme brulee. Yeah, it's kind of what I'm feeling here as well. Anyway, hey man, I'm just telling you. Take it for what it's worth, man. Anyway. I digress. I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor, wisdom man. All right, good guy. Cheers.